what I wish I knew before running my first ultra marathon. My first ultra marathon happened 12, 13 years ago. I think it was 2014. It was the Belmonte 50 miler, which is actually 51.9 miles, a double marathon over top of two mountains and back. That last 1.9 miles is miserable when you sign up for a 50 miler. It sounds okay when you're starting what's 1.9 more miles. But when I went into that race, I went in completely blind. I had no reference point on ultras. There was very little on the internet at that point. It's kind of why I started this channel. So my research was just reading race reports. So it's kind of hard to get a visual. I had no idea of the terrain really, other than some of the pictures, the elevation change. So I went in blind to not only what I was going to go do. I knew it was long, I knew it was going to be hard, but no idea what that was. I had run road 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, and marathons. That was my experience with running all on the roads. I think I ran one trail half marathon. It was a rail to trail, super flat, so it was not even close to what I was getting ready to get myself into. But one thing for sure, I was excited. I think I was 38 years old, was young, and yeah, that's what I was going into. So number one, I want you, if you're going to be going into your first one, or if you have already run these, you'll understand. Embrace the challenge. It's going to be hard. If you've never done anything like that, if you're not a trail runner and you're going to go run a mountainous trail race, it's going to be hard. And I'm not saying that in a joking way. I'm being serious. Like, you need to understand you're getting yourself into what surmounts to like a fight. You're going to have to battle through this. It's going to be hard. It's going to be harder than you even think it was. My first one was harder than I thought it was going to be. And I thought it was going to be hard. It pushed me to limits. It pushed me to places that I had not ever been mentally. And now reflecting on it, it was a great thing, because it pushed me to a point that I grew. I grew through that adversity. And now I know what I'm getting myself into. And sometimes that's harder. Sometimes knowing that the pain is coming, sometimes not knowing things helps. It's kind of hard to explain unless you've been through it. It's going to be hard. It's going to suck at points, but I promise you, when you finish, you will be a new person. If this is your first ultra marathon, it will change you. It will expose your mind to things you didn't know you could go through. Number two, prioritizing nutrition. Again, coming in from road races where you just pop a gel every once in a while. This was new to me. I had no idea how much to eat. Hydration, obviously, to what I thought I needed when I was going through. Electrolytes, at that point, I don't even think I really thought about it. I think Gatorade was just like, I'll just do some Gatorade. I again, went in completely blind, ate when I needed to, got really hungry because I wasn't used to eating that much food. I was burning a ton. This race had 10,000 feet of elevation gain, and the mountain climbs just got to you burning tons of calories, and it just wasn't used to that. Wasn't used to coming to an aid station, eating chips and Oreos and peanut butter and jellies, and just, I hadn't really experimented with dealing with all that. So I wish I would have known how to better fuel myself, because it was a long, hard day, and I made it harder on myself by not being prepared for certain things. Pacers and crew, super critical. I run a lot now without that, but at the beginning, I don't think I would have finished my first race had I not had a pacer for probably 19 miles of that. Just, it helped take my mind off of what I was doing, helped me through low spots to kind of keep me focused. And ultimately, that's what pacers are there to do. They're to help you finish the job, to do the job you're there to do when your brain starts to withdraw. And just passing time. You get bored in these long races. There's a lot of time by yourself in your head. If you're fast, 8 hours, 7 hours. If you're slower, you're going to get into the 10, 11, 12, 13 hour range. And it's just a lot of time on your feet, a lot of time to think about the pain, a lot of time to think about why you're doing this, because you will question, probably quit and say, I'm never doing this again. And you won't. You'll do it again. I know very few people who've only ran one and then been done. It's not like marathons. People continue to do these things. They come back for more. Hydration and electrolytes. This was another thing I just, like I mentioned before, just didn't have a clue how much electrolytes and hydration was going to come into play. I thought I just drank when I was thirsty. It was more than that. Electrolytes, now I know, can turn your race around. A lot of people run low on those in races and just don't think about it. They're not taking enough of sodium, potassium, and all of the things your body needs. Once those things get replenished, you really start to feel bad. And a lot of times you'll see a race completely turn around. You pop several salt pills, and electrolyte pills, and you're just like, wow, I feel so much better now. And when you're pushing that razor's edge of what your body can do, it's super important that you take care of it and replenish the things that you're burning off. I don't think I really knew anything about that stuff at that point, other than athletics, where like, you need to take a salt pill, or you need to drink Gatorade or something like that. Like, I just didn't understand how important it was to not only performance, but just how you feel. How you feel in ultras is super important. You're going to feel bad a lot, but you're going to feel good a lot. And it's going to kind of cyclically go through that pattern. But you need to know it's problem solving. So you need to know how to get yourself out of the low point. Sometimes it's just a mental game to push yourself through it. Sometimes just eating will make you feel better, and taking electrolytes and water and things that will just make you feel better. Your body perform better, and that will then change your brain. So I wish I would have known that stuff. It would have made my day much, much better. Research the course. Much easier these days than it was back 10, 12, 13 years ago. There just wasn't a lot of information other than some pictures and or race reports. And now people still do race reports, and they're interesting, but now everything's videoed. You know, people like me out there recording the race, recording the terrain, doing after race reports of everything. So you can go into a course completely prepared for what you're going to go through for the most part. Now, you know, the race that I went into had peaks of just under 4,000 feet. I don't live in an area that has peaks like that, so it was a lot longer climbs. It was kind of hard for me where I am to train for that, other than, you know, getting on the treadmill and climbing a lot more. But nowadays, you can, if you live in an area, you can train very similar to the race. You can get as much vert as the race does per mile. So if you know if the race you're going to go into is 100 feet of gain per mile, like, you can train for that. Maybe not specifically. Maybe you can't go, up 1,500 feet in a half a mile, like maybe the race. Like, I think this race was like that. It felt like that. There's switchbacks that you're going up, and if you can't train specifically for that, you can do the best you can. Prepare your legs, prepare mentally for those climbs, because they are taxing and they are draining, and they're going to make you want to quit. And I'll throw in this extra one. Prepare, especially if you're doing mountain races, prepare for tops of mountains and the time of day you're going to be in, because a lot of times you're going to get hot during the day, you're going to get cold at night, and especially on some of those climbs, if it's late at night, you're going to get colder than you think you're going to, and it can definitely mess with your day, and it can scare you. Specifically in this race, I was pushing towards the back of the pack. I was probably in the bottom 5 to 10 people, and I was with some of the people who ran off course and had to get back on, and they were demoralized. I'm passing those, but the last mountain climb, I had run out of water several miles before it. I had a 1,500 foot climb up a switchback. I was low on electrolytes. I was low on food. I had no water, and I was scared, because I had never been through this before. And I know that I was going to have to go up this mountain, over the mountain, and still probably run another 6 or 7 miles to get to the finish. And my brain just kind of shut off, saying, you're not going to be able to do this. This is too much. It's dangerous. And I had to battle. I sat down on the trail almost in tears, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because again, I had no reference point. So I did what you're supposed to do. Get up, put one foot in front of the other, and I kept moving, got up the climb, got back to the other side of the mountain, to the last aid station, made the cutoff, and just miserable. If you could have pulled me off the course, if I could have gotten off the course, I might have done it. But the only way to finish was to keep going forward. There was no bailing. There was no exit. There was nothing I could do, because I'm in the middle of nowhere coming down a mountain, and no one was there to save me. I had to save myself. The cutoff back then was like, because it's 51.9 miles, and the cutoff was, I think, 12 hours. Super aggressive cutoff for this race. It's not an easy race. It's definitely not a race you want to do for your first race. I got close to that cutoff. I think I don't know how close I was, but it wasn't too far behind me. I finished, I think, about 13 hours. So it was after the cutoff. At that point, I think they had decided they were going to extend the cutoff for this race. And I think after that, they changed the cutoff to 13 hours. And now it's 14 hours in the race. Like, I think they started realizing how aggressive those cutoffs. And now they have a new course, and I think it's a little less vert, not a ton less. I think it's about 8,700 feet of climb. I think it was closer to 10 when I did it. And they've had to extend the cutoffs to like 14 hours now, I think, just to be more friendly to people, because it was not a good first race. I was miserable. I got through it, and I learned a ton. And that's what you need to understand. Your first is going to be a learning experience. Learn everything you can. You're not going to do it perfect. You can prepare for everything. Lots of different things can go sideways on you, but now it's a lot easier to prepare yourself. So these are the things I wish I would have learned and knew prior to my first one, but you got to learn the hard way sometimes. And I hope these help you. If you're going to run your first ultra marathon, best of luck. I got tons of videos that you can click here and watch to help prepare you. If you need help, you can email me. You can find that on my YouTube page, my email. If you need a training plan, those are down below in the description. They're on my website, motivationtheoryrunning.com. Best of luck. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.